Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have a daily driver. It's a G30 BMW 5 Series, 540 to be exact. And it has a beautiful B58 engine, but BMW has gone quite a ways to make the car as quiet as possible. And I find that even though it's a relatively quick car, without the noise, it was just felt too much like a comfort cruiser, and not it didn't do the engine justice, the complete lack of noise and all the sound deadening that was in it. I mean, in some ways, you got to understand, the market for this car is not necessarily younger guys who want exhaust noise and bangs, but at the same time, it's a damn shame that you have such a beautiful engine in here and you get to hear basically none of it. So I was thinking about going, buying a full aftermarket catback system. But before I did that, I said, why don't I try muffler deleting it first? Just because I've had about 4 or 5 cars before and I've muffler deleted all of them, and for the most part I've liked all of them. So before I go the expensive route, which can run anywhere from 3 to 5 grand for a decent system including setup, I said, why don't I get a muffler delete? My setup at my local shop here in Toronto, Canada, only cost me about 150 bucks to do, which is insanely cheap, and to put my muffler back on is probably another 100 bucks. So it cost me next to nothing. So I said, before I go the expensive route, might as well try muffler deleting and see how it sounds. The first thing I noticed as soon as we started it up in the shop was that it's extremely loud on startup. It was almost too loud, and I got nervous as soon as they started up. I was about to tell them to put the exhaust back on because I didn't want it to be obnoxious. And I go to business meetings, and the last thing I want to do is attract unnecessary amounts of attention, especially in a family sedan. But the good part is, after about 5 to 10 seconds, when the engine kind of does its cycle, it gets quieter. And once I started driving it, I love the noise. I think it could be louder. I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit louder. It has a very deep growl, and sometimes when it's colder, it'll pop and you'll hear little bubbles, like burbles. This is a completely stock engine. There's no intakes, downpipes, tunes, none of that. It's so you get to hear what it sounds like. I do have a little bit of a tip for the startup if you are worried about bothering your neighbors, or if there's a cop behind you. It's not that loud, but still, sometimes you want to start it up and you want the car to be quiet. You just got to give it a little, just a hit of throttle, like 200 RPM, like just touch the throttle, and it really almost completely gets rid of that startup rumble, and makes the car very, very livable. And once the car is up and running after 10 seconds, it's a very good sound. It's not too loud, it's not obnoxious, and the tone is really, really good. One thing to note is that the stock exhaust has a flap to make it quieter in normal driving. I didn't like the flap because I was getting a little bit of rattling, so I found a way to disconnect the flap and leave the exhaust open. So it won't really matter if I drive in M mode, which is like Sport Plus, or even Comfort or Eco. The sound levels are the same. Obviously M mode, the engine's a little bit more sprucey, so you know, you will get a little bit more exhaust, but the sound itself is not much louder. So this is a driving shot. Alright guys, so those are a couple of shots in different scenarios. Hopefully that gives you a bit of a sense of what to expect if you're planning on doing it. I don't think the exact noise translates well into video. I think the real life tone seems a little bit deeper than when I record it, so keep that in mind. Overall, I think if you're thinking about muffler deleting any B58 engine, I would highly recommend it because it seems like a really good engine to do that too. But other than that, thank you for watching. I appreciate all the time you spent here, and please remember to comment and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.